Hey everybody, welcome back to the National Contemporary Orchestra's Repertoire Review. This time we're taking a look at Alexandra Gardner's Banyan, which was written for orchestra in 2008. And it's been on my radar for a number of years, and I've had the chance to really dive into the score. And this is, again, one of those times, and I've said this before, why I love working with new music, because I get to talk with the composers. And sometimes hearing about their process really brings it home and makes it even more accessible, not only for me as a conductor, but for audiences as listeners. So when you think about how a composer might approach a new piece, they can go one of two ways. They can have an idea and write about that idea, or they write a piece and then they give it a title. So when you have the title first, let's say it's Romeo and Juliet. You know you want a theme for Romeo, you want a theme for Juliet, one for the Capulets, one for the Montagues, one for a fight, one for a quiet scene, and then you put it together and there it is. With Banyan, it was really cool to find out that Alexandra wrote the piece. So she sat there and said, I have this music in my mind, in my heart, I want to get it out. Here it is. And then she puts it there, she looks at it and says, what does that say to me? What comes to mind? And the banyan tree came in. The really interesting part about that title is it made me realize that not only was this music inside of her, but this connected to her the same way it's connecting to everybody else. Now granted, we have the advantage of being given the title, so that kind of sets the stage. But even without it, what we're hearing as an audience was the same thing that she heard as an audience of her own piece. So really get into those details that I can't do with composers from 200 years ago. And so it's again that connection that I get to have with a composer, which I then get to have with the music, which I then get to help create for the audiences. So here's what a banyan tree looks like. It has all these roots that come up and connect, interconnect, and it's really interesting because you hear that in the piece. So you'll hear one root, you're following a root, and then another one comes in. And so that takes you off to here. And then a couple times it'll go off into different directions, and then it'll come back and you'll see the first one again, or the fifth one again. And so all these melodies come in, and you can actually see in the piece this happening. Here on page 16 and 17 of the score, you can see the piccolos, flutes, and the clarinets. They're having their time with the melody or with the idea of these different roots, and you see them winding. And later on, those come back, sometimes in these same voices, sometimes in other instruments. But this idea of these intertwined roots are always there, and it helps have this overarching idea or sound, or theme of the tree itself. Now, Alexandra has a recording of Banyan on her Soundcloud page, a link to which is available not only on the comments of this video, but also on our main page on this platform. So I hope you take some time to click over and listen, and you'll hear not only the roots and the trees, but also this finale. And it's such a cool thing. And in the program notes, she says, the finale is a calm that for me evokes beams of light funneling through branches. Now, who among us have not taken a moment to stand under a tree and looked up and just seen the light breaking through the leaves, and it's kind of a quick on-off switch, all the flickering, and just sat there and just enjoyed the calmness, especially if there's a breeze. It just enough to kind of make a moment. That's here, that's in the piece. Thank you again for stopping by and listening to a quick little repertoire review with the National Contemporary Orchestra. Give us a like, subscribe to the page, and share with all your friends who like music. And as always, enjoy the performance. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.